that should be everything synced up. I am very exhausted, folks, but the show must go on. Plus, we're doing something really kind of crazy right now. And once the game loads, I'll tell you what it is. You see, come on, game, please load. That is some serious lag. I'm hoping it will clean up. Yep, just took a moment for all the assets to load. Except apparently the map, which I just fell through. I am still stuck underneath the map, aren't I? Okay, that's much better. Where is Jurgamantide? Ironically, Seafant can't actually swim. Surfant. I think the only one of my pal that actually can swim is Jurgamantide here. Fishing rod must be equipped. And there is still so many like schematics that I need just to craft higher tier things, because you need like 7 different things to craft the other thing, which you need to craft the other thing. Like, I have pretty much everything I need to make the various like leaf seals and fire seals and all that, except for any of the elemental medallions. I have the neutral medallion and nothing else, and I have no idea where I have to go to find more medallions. But I am getting distracted. That's why I've sort of enabled the dungeons from my map view, so I can kind of just burn through dungeons. Hopefully I get medallions in the loot chests at the end. But you know what? While things are settling, sure, why not? There's one not that far away from here. Just head north, hit up a dungeon. that it? That is it. Phone, can you please keep Restream open so I can keep an eye on the chat? But so basically, what we're going to be doing is heading to one of the wildlife sanctuaries where I've already built a base outside of it, and I built a second base outside of it. And what we're going to do is, well, which we won't probably complete in this because it's a lot of building, is we're going to build up the base. And our goal is to literally build a dome over the energy dome. Because why not? Sounds like fun to me. Yes, the game is in fact Palworld. Hello, Hetro. And nope, this is not the boss room. Or is it? If you attack me, you're going into the ball. Yeah, it's weird when you change the. So Restream lets me update multiple topics simultaneously. However, it doesn't allow you to set the game, which I'm gonna have to fiddle around with, or I guess in this case, fuddle around with.
Yeah.
Now, let's see if I had any luck whatsoever in getting the medallions that I need for the seals that I need. I have yet to get any of the medallion schematics I need. It's getting really annoying because I don't know where I go to get medallion schematics. Well, let's see if I can turn you into a mod. Shall we? Well, it says you are a mod, so you should be able to change it. Alright. Not to be, of course, confused with mods that alter the game. Mods in the chat are different. Alright. Well, that was pointless. For the one thing that I need the nearest fast travel marker. I can see one of those blue lights. A fast travel marker. Alright. So we're heading over to here. We'll go to the secondary base as our starting point. And so, as you can kind of see the wall over there, as I'm kind of building that up as an actual proper base, we're going to do something similar here. What would be the best framing to do? I could use the Japanese walls, but I think I'm going to stick with the ones that I've been enjoying. The polymer-based ones. We go there. We go there. You can stand here. But here's where things will get kind of fun. So that actually works as continuing the base, interestingly enough. But can we double stack it? We can. Might be a bit too much there. Can we then go normal vertical? We can. I feel we're too much inside the barrier at that point. It's exhausting and tiring and all the normal stuff that work is. I am not a fan of how close that light is getting to me. I am not inside your barrier. Ignore me. It's none of your concern. In fact, I am making your life easier. Because I am going to build a barrier around your barrier. Specifically so that your barrier is completely isolated from the rest of the world. We're actually getting pretty close to the top. I am, in fact, still in Jersey. actually getting to the top of the dome. Okay, at this point, I might actually need to start angling inward. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. I did not mean to fall like that. Fall damage may not mean anything to me, but it's still a very, very long trip back up. Because what we're doing right now is proof of concept. Probably good. I am going to get shot by those drones at this rate. Alright. Okay. Now we don't want to go into. Not enough support. So that is our limit. Saying that's not enough support. If I place that there, considers that fine. Is that going in? No, it isn't. Not enough support. I mean, that is definitely inside the barrier. So, that's not going to work, but that looks like it would. Come on. You should. Do I have to use the slanted one? I have to use the slanted one. Pretty close to the edge, all things considered. Let us do another slanted roof. It's a good thing I've got these foundations every few steps down, because it is going to be funky. Oh, because this is a slanted roof, we have to use this one, don't we? No, not that. We have to use the inverted one if we want to keep it straight. And then another slanted roof on top. I mean, technically this is working. Technically, this is working. But it is ugly as sin. I mean, look at that thing. That does not look nice. I am going to have to completely redesign that. So let's start over here. Because I think I've got a pretty close, yeah, I got a pretty close edge right here. But it's not like flush, is it? I might have to build a third base out of the next pylon just so I can make one that's actually in line with this barrier. But for that, I'm going to need to make sure I have some basic resources. Let's see here. Technically speaking, I could place it here instead of there, because there is an inward spoked cog in here that I could theoretically build from to match the actual slope of the intention. I've got the outward cog here. I mean, I don't have any building supplies at all. That's a completely separate issue. But we're just scouting out the location. You know, I think it'd probably make more sense to place it out here, so that way, again, technically, we're not inside of your sanctuary. And we're blocking your sanctuary off. You can't say that we're invading your sanctuary when we're literally building a wall around your sanctuary. We should be able to build something relatively straight across here. It looks like you can actually see the curve. Like that is straight right there. Then it curves at a slight angle here. Like you can see the angle of the curve if you're paying attention. There's another curve. We could work with that. All right. Since we're using the soar lights, first off, we'll drop into the base here. Yes, on this particular, I don't know why I'm doing this. I may end up having to rebuild the entire structure here to match up with that far base if I stretch it this way. But what I think I'll do is we'll make the other one fit to wrap around, and then we'll build out around its side. And so we'll come back around the opposite side of this, and then we'll worry about making this one fit. Just take care of some resources first. the rest should be fine as ammo types I use. Honestly, what I should do build one of these, and I can just throw all my stuff into here and I'll put it in the right box. Yeah, I think my inventory sorting mod has actually connected this thing to all of my bases, which is why it is taking so long for me to do anything with it. On the plus side, things like that I can pull out that I might have missed and overlooked. But yes, by the same token, it's almost impossible to actually store anything. I can take things out just fine. It's a bit laggy. But this is absolutely not a solution for putting things in to the PAL box. Well, not PAL box, but PAL storage. Item storage. Yeah, no, this is kind of ludicrous. It is good to be able to get a rough idea of what I've got across all my base storage, though. But yes, I need some basic supplies to set up another base. Once I've set up another base, all of my supplies will be linked. So I do need, like, left control. We'll do maybe not that much. $61. That should be enough to build foundation. And then I need the actual, like, basic materials. So, like, apparently it didn't like me closing that box either, because wow, that is a lag spike. I thought we had a base visitor. Is it one of the legendary vendors? No, I don't see our visitor. And I'm not horribly over encumbered. Making a ton of ingots, awesome. You guys do one job, and that's make ingots. Just make lots and lots of ingots. And from those ingots, you guys will then make stupid amounts of coin. And from those coins, we'll make stupid amount of dog coins for getting the supplies that I need that can only be found at the dog vendor. But I digress. Tap those things, don't I? Or did I auto sort them? I auto sorted them, didn't I? That is annoying. Not terribly annoying, because we can just fly back over here. Still, not getting the medals, the medallion schematics I need. You know what? Just get it over here. That would be overkill. It would literally over-encumber me. Okay, fine. We'll try it again. Now, if you may be wondering why I have an Elizabeth in my party, it's because I'm getting set up for my new character run, where it's basically just going to start with Elizabeth, about as maxed out as I can make her. New character, I'm going to use the mod Pal Army to increase my Pal slots to 100, and the goal will be to only run with Elizabeth and a bunch of B-regards. And we'll see just how powerful we can make her when the only one that actually fights in the party is Elizabeth, but she is being supported by 99 of the B-regards. It's weird I can see you visibly through the barrier. Anyway. Let's see. What's a good place to place down our flooring? Foundations. I should have enough to set up a foundation for that to sit on. Let me snap. There. Now I should be able to place you on my foundation. If you'll stop being finicky. Fine, we need a little bit more foundation. That's fine. We can make that happen. game is not enjoying me placing down another PAL box. Alright, we've got another one. Where do our borders extend here? Alright, we can see them. There's a little bit of space between the two, but that's fine. I should now have access to everything. I do. Ancient civilization. That edge sign lined up. That seems about it. Will be happier with me placing a foundation. Doesn't like that. Gotta find a piece of foundation that it is happy with me placing here, because we can always change its type later. Oh, that counted. Is that actually edge aligned? Probably about as close as we can get, honestly. Get a little bit further at the turn. Or possibly it's annoying that if it overlaps with the character, it doesn't like it. You know, recognizes that as fine. That is at a slight angle. Alright, so let's push this forward. don't know why my phone constantly drops out of watching the chat. This might actually be the best method. It keeps them as close to the barrier as possible, small little gaps. But let us see if we can't do something a little bit better. I want to get it right on that edge. Yeah, I wish you could just do minor rotations after placing. No, it definitely needs to be a slight bit turned. So what we're trying to do is going for about as perfect as you can get, and then build up and literally build a wall around the sanctuary, but that requires very precise placement, or at least close enough to it that we can do. Honestly, I'm going to call that close enough. Now the question we want to ask, if that's close enough, and I put a wall here, then place a foundation. Can I place a foundation here? No. Can I place a normal floor piece here? I can. Because I think roughly, if we push the floor pieces across, that's kind of the height we're going to want our base to start at. I think it's about right. Obviously the angle's already off on that end because that's where the angle changes. But I think one tile high for the base layer is fine. unless we want to place it just right on the water itself. Which technically we can. But it would mean that when we're dealing with this pylon here, we'd have to go up a level. Which I suppose we could place this as sort of like a wall, so it's, yeah. So we'll play with this. We'll assume this is our starting point. Keep building our foundation out. We'll just do one segment. Oh yeah, that's definitely worse off than it was before. It's definitely dipping into, and we don't want that to happen. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter where we start, as long as we can get a straight foundation. That's going out too much. Which we don't want. This was surprisingly close. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to use this as our starting point. We've already established that we don't mind it being in the water for the base layer. This is probably about as close as we're going to get. So we'll continue to extend it out. Just get a solid set of tiles under our feet here. Yeah, we're pretty close to that edge right there. It's like about as perfect as I could probably ever get. Probably about time we started arcing. Maybe a little bit earlier. Then again, we're trying to build a barrier over the barrier. So it being slightly off angle probably is fine. If their shielded side is slightly smaller, that actually isn't the worst thing in the world. So we'll say an incline, but does the incline go inside? Just barely. Since we know falling down's a big problem, just at the edge, doesn't actually go in, or slightly goes in. Yeah, falling down is going to be the trickiest part. Because as you can see, it is a long fall. Now we've got our first breach inward, which means we at least have something to fall onto once we're higher up. But if we fall below that point, and I am going to need to change this window.
I don't know if you were talking to me about the as you can see stuff, but there's nothing to see. You're not streaming.
I am streaming on my Twitch, my Twitter, and my YouTube, but when
I see.
I try to stream to Discord as well, it's just too much on my computer.
That's fair. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no problem. Alright, let's see. Now, if you want to find any of those platforms, you can find me on YouTube at CuppaLLX, CUPPLLX. I'm Nico LLX on Twitter, and I'm also CuppaLLX on Twitch. All right, now that's an actual that's a physical wall there. Good. I actually did build that. Let's see. Build up. I honestly probably should have built this all in glass just so I can see what's behind it. Which which is actually not a problem, because while the stone is there, I can just place it later. So let's just do glass, glass, and keep going up until we're at a reasonable point to loop in. Maybe one more. And now we'll switch over to the incline. One thing I do find interesting about the building materials in Palworld, they're all different thicknesses. And have different like joints for like their edges. So if you stack them on top of each other, you get like weird like if you put like, for example, stone and glass on top of each other, they have different edges that interact with each other.
I didn't know that.
It's a weird little feature, but it is a feature. Like if you look at the glass, it has these little like metal pins on the edge. But if we switch over to say the metal, it's got bolts for its corner edges. When we switch over to stone, it's actually got proper like cornerstones. If you go to wood, it's got beams, and they all, when they are interacting with each other, do actually kind of overlap, interact. Let's see. So, since we're just swapping out between the different ones, we'll go over to the Japanese style, which is just kind of a more refined version of the wood style. Then there's the polymer, which is called clean. Can I do an incline with the polymer? I think we're at a point where we can do an incline. Not enough support, you say? We've actually reached a point where it says we need support. Okay, so that means we're going to use an actual foundation piece, if it'll actually let me attach one. Okay, that actually worked well because we have space. So actually what I'll do here, no, I'm just going to deconstruct it. I was going to add a door, but that's superfluous. Yeah, that makes things so much easier when I can just fall down onto the flooring. Okay. Up. Up. we'll go and say with the Sorelite, the ancient civilization, we'll do the incline for that. That's definitely going to go into it, isn't it? Not enough support. Okay. Oh, we are actually far enough up that, yeah, that does not actually go into the barrier. Let's see here. Bone, stop dropping out of the chat. I'm trying to monitor this on Restream. Do another incline here. Not enough support, that's fine. Now that is absolutely going inside the barrier. Which means... don't deconstruct the barrier you're standing on. That will be a very long fall. But we can do this. Careful, get that floor. Let's see, left control. Ooh. Come on, yet right here where I'm standing.
Yep. Yep.
Fine, we'll put a barrier, put a foundation piece there. What's the best way to do this? Because we need to be able to get in a position where we can put the higher foundation piece in. And then we do... it does not like that. Am I actually at the limit of the foundations? Am I technically outside of my base now? So it didn't mind a standard wall like that. That's fine. Okay. Whoop! I am really far. Whoop, up. Come on, just get back onto... it is not going to be fun getting back up to the top of the wall we've been building. Missed it by that much. Okay, calm down. And land. Whew. It's a good thing we've got these platforms. It makes stuff like this a lot easier to get past. Alright. Don't deconstruct the floor you're standing on. Build up. Because believe it or not, there actually is a height limit when building a base.
I didn't know that either.
It's an incredibly high height limit. I think it's something like 12. I think I just hit it. Because I am, yep, not enough support. Climb up out of it. I am officially out of my base? Or is that just intersecting with the wall of the sanctuary? I can actually see the full rig of my base. I'm so high up. Not enough support, it's saying. Alright, let's place this here. That doesn't like that. Floor piece. No, it's still classifying me as inside the base. Alright, so I'm just interacting with the force field. Fair enough. And up again. Can't build here, overlaps with the character, which is an annoying restriction. I can't build on top of myself. Whew. Careful. One more.
Yep.
One more. I think it's time to start inclining in. Not enough support. That's easy enough. Yeah, that's fine. Drop here. Drop that. And incline. Incline again. Not enough support. Easy enough to fix. Incline. Incline. Not enough support. So apparently the limit for the inclines is 2. Then it's not enough support. And you have to go put in a... How high did they make this force field? My god. Seriously, Ancients. Did you really need a barrier this tall?
Yes.
I mean, I'm still going to cover it in polymer and sorolite, but, like... My god, this feels like more overkill than my plan to literally cover you in a barrier made out of hard materials. And my plan's insane as it is. I mean, we can see the top, but it is a very high top. Oh, I'm actually outside the base area now. I am now working with my sorolite personal supplies. So we found the ceiling. Where is it? Stop. It's here. Okay. So we'll deconstruct those. And... well, we'll work from here because we got to make all of the other floors match up to here. Which, you know, absolutely doable. I guess I can start from the top here. We've got a barrier. Actually, let's see. Flying pets. Flying pals. Frostilian Knock. You can fly. I'm terrified about summoning you this high up.
Yeah.
But let's see if we can actually ride you. So, that's how high up we are, folks. That's our barrier that we've been building. Just one tile wide. I might actually be able to pull this off streaming to Discord, so we'll do that for a moment, just so everyone can see the madness. That is where we currently are.
I see.
And that is just one tile that we've been working our way up.
Jesus.
I am planning to build around this entire thing a physical barrier. This is my third base and my third pylon. You can see my other two bases over there. I am going to seal them into their own. I am going to block out the sun with a dome. Alright. Can I actually build while on my PAL?
I don't think you can.
Nope, won't let me build. So then, F to dismount. There we go. Recall, just so you're not flying everywhere. Can I build a slope point from there? Like, will it actually let me do a slope? Well, it lets me turn it the opposite direction, but I want it to actually be pointing down. Yes, so I can build a slope above my head. Good. Just so we can make it a bit more clean of a slope. The interior structure is fine. That's where we're going to do all of our sort of, you know, infrastructure. But let's just see if we can just make like a clean slope. And like no, that has blocked me in because it's connecting to the floor I'm standing on. Easy enough to fix. Because they're going to need slope pieces anyway as we build down. Actually, there's a good question. Do I want to just start from the top down? Because there's always going to be these connection structure points. So why don't I just...
Our characters are actually surprisingly similar in this game.
Why, is your character also She-Hulk?
Not quite, but my character is also green with the gloopy hat. Proportion-wise, though, I made my character quite similar to, like, Cotton.
I see.
If you give me sliders, and, like, you better expect me to just put all of them to max to see what would happen.
Now, as I recall correctly, before that, because this is not actually technically a curved dome. It actually has edges. Each of those edges is roughly about 4.5 tiles long, which means that there's a space between them, since we can't actually do the same angles they do. But if you make 4 tiles long, it will be on a straight line and it won't curve. Then you'll have a break point, and then you can do another 4 tiles, and you get the idea. So I am going to build 4 tiles out this way. I'm literally right at the edge of the base. Like I walk over a couple of like a foot. It says, "Oh, you don't have enough supplies," and then go over here. Oh, you have enough supplies. Let's go over a tiny skosh, just so I have access to my supplies to build the slope, and then build the slope here, and then build the slope here. Not enough support. Yet somehow
Ooh, that
this one
one's
has
good
enough support.
too.
Not enough support. Fine. Just so I can get over here. No, not the straight ones. We want the angled ones, which are these ones. There we go. And just this one tiny little section says not enough support. Fine. You can have a window. You can have some sunlight. I will permit you the minimum amount of sunlight. OSHA would hate me. Not enough support. But that one's apparently fine. I really wish there was like a slanting foundation because that would make this so much easier. But for now, I guess I'll connect it if it'll let me. If I remove that wall, that vertical wall there, I should be able to put a slanting wall. Yes. And just so it looks pretty. Where is it? There it is, the side angle piece. Now will it actually let me, no, actually I need the other side angle piece, this one. Presuming it'll actually let me place it properly. Nope. Can I place the clean wall against it? I can. Better than nothing. And it's making everything look clean. Oh boy. That fall does not look fun.
No, what are you talking about? Clearly, it would be very fun.
Thankfully, I do have my Celarux Ray, so I am immune to fall damage, so I'm not actually worried about falling. I'm worried about the climb back up.
Yeah, that's fair.
This might be making too big of an exterior dome, so I am going to go and say from this point here, we're going to go back to vertical drop. And let's see, we'll go back to the vertical piece here. Make sure my phone is still showing me the chat over on Restream, because it keeps dropping out of it for some reason. Oh boy! And that roll was terrifying. And we can do that, that. Will let
Oh,
us.
damn it, you're the wrong one. There we go.
Come on, just. And simply because we always need a sort of landing spot for safety reasons, we'll put a foundation here. That way we have something to work with. Straight piece against the wall here, if it'll let us. Should. It's just a matter of getting the right angle. Or actually, technically, in this case, it would actually be the right angle. And can we get them to connect between the two of them? Straight down there. I mean, I'm just getting done what I can get done, because I can always come back at a different point and get the various off angles. So I'm not too worried about it being perfect here. I'm just trying to get most of it done. Here's our monstrosity. I mean, the second build definitely looks a lot cleaner, and will look a lot cleaner from a distance, but wow, it is still a monstrosity.
Oh, that's what that sound was. It was just a bunch of random pals fighting.
Let me get a connection. No. Now is not the time to fish. Please put the fishing rod away. Okay, fine. Have it your way, game. I'll add some stairs to make it easier to actually build. No problem with that. No problem with that. No problem with that. No problem with that. No problem with that one. So is it just slanted roofs that it doesn't like you just building eternally? Because that is a very long straight roof and it has no problem. But you know what? That will be such a pain when I have to deal with it. So I'm going to put a foundation there. I'm going to try and fall onto that foundation, which is a lot easier said than done. No game, I don't actually care about the meteorite. I flew right into a wall and you don't immediately go into climbing mode. There. Whew. Okay. Standing on, I was going to say solid ground, but we know it's not solid ground. Like, let's not kid ourselves. This is not solid ground. Okay. This should still, though, allow us to just look up. And build, but apparently not. Go a little bit further over here. Can I get that in range? Okay, fine. There is a solution. There's always a solution. Just build more foundation out this way. So I have plenty of room to look up and angle the cursor. Yep, that'll work. That'll work. So I have to build out this way in order to get the angle for the middle one. Fine. I can work with that.
Oh, I didn't mean to kill it.
Just give myself some more foundation to fuddle around on. Now, does that give me enough of an angle to get that middle piece going? Okay, fine, game.
Whoa.
Will you let me do it this way? Sometimes if you can't build up down, try down up. BA start. And if I just climb up here, I should be able to cover that last section. Okay. We're getting there. We are definitely getting there. And I guess by that same token, if this is all a slope, and that's straight, build up, build up, build up.
Yep.
Go to our angled piece. Left Alt should get it to the right position. Not enough support, of course not. Eh. Still pretty dang good. That is a lot of infrastructure we have built. And I've got a safe spot I can drop down to here. Get a view from behind. Start deconstructing the lattice work behind it, because we don't need all of this. After we've gotten our upper framework working, that seems fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put our fourth piece here and not placed on the ground. Okay, fine. Will you accept that as valid ground? Okay, good. Now, you know what? I'm going to try something different. What if we, instead of putting slanted roof tiles, used stairs? Because that'll make it a lot easier to get back up to this point. And the stairs don't count as support. Still, we got 3 down. Place, not enough, not placed on the ground. Why do you not want that as support? And you don't count that. Okay. What if we do slanted roofs? Will you let us do more of those than the stairs? Or do the stairs have more? No, actually we can do more slanted roofs than the stairs, but only one more. But when we're done with that, can we place? Yes, we can place a floor tile, and then we can place another. Nope, that doesn't count as the ground. Won't let us extend out that way. And yet, ironically, it'll let me place this floor tile. Which, will it let me place another staircase here? It will. That counts as valid support. So now we know what to do to build down to that point. Plus it also gives us an access stairway that also functions as a slanted roof. Okay. Now we probably need to just drop straight down. This is going to take so much time to build. But that is the start, at least, of literally walling off this section of the wildlife sanctuary. Man, honestly, coming along okay. Given where we started, I think we did a pretty good job so far. I love the fact you can just fly above these things. They can't even see you. Now where is that cave entrance? Because as long as I'm here, I might as well capture another instance of Astagon. I am disrespecting your no-fly zone. Can you guys even see me? I can never see Astagon's cave. It is so well hidden amongst all of the blue lava. Like, I vaguely understand where it is. I think, is that it right there? No, it's far more. There it is. And who's my strongest pal? 'Cause as long as I'm here, I'm going to take down those drones. Probably Edeon. Just command aggressive. No mercy ring or glasses. Always the most annoying thing to shoot down out of the sky. Here's the thing, you poor fools. I've got a base right outside with all of these lovely, lovely pals that are just itching for a fight. Come. Come on. Enter my base. Enter my base. Boys! And this is why I have a base. In case I aggro those guys and I cannot take them down. We're just going to respawn back here.
Do the drones drop anything valuable? I haven't actually ever tried to take them down.
No, they drop nothing at all.
Yeah, that seems about right.
It's literally just bragging points. It's like, are you strong enough to take on the drones?
It'd be really fun if they dropped like a shit ton of like what are they called? Like the ancient cores, because you need a lot of those.
Surprisingly,
So,
cores
ancient
are
stuff.
relatively easy to get a hold of once you've got expeditions going.
Well, yeah, but it would be funny if it dropped just like a shit ton of those, because then instead of you'd have the option of expeditions or farming the drones.
Speaking of which, my expedition is done. Take everything and send them right. Actually, what I need is not the stuff in the World Tree Subterranean. I need Ancient Pal manuscripts, so that's my best choice for getting Ancient Pal manuscripts. That'll work. 229%. Hard mode. Fate thing.
Huh?
The Pal Army mod is very fun, but once you start summoning everybody, it's impossible to see anything. And I'm not even using the maximum version of it where you can do 100. I just have 25 of these guys. And they just, once you summon everybody out, it's impossible to see anything. Like, where is my ancient artifact deconstructor thing? Somewhere around here. Oh, right. I should do this. I sworn I had a bunch of eggs in my inventory. Alright, let's see here. You. Turn it on.
Oh, excuse me.
Not a problem. And let's head over to where my schematics are. Alright. Well, we have done that for a while. Let's close things out by taking a look at the volcano cake base. And it's very slow progress. Because unfortunately, I can't actually build this on stream. It is way too resource intensive. Placing down just a single tile lags things dramatically. I can do it off camera, but just streaming is too much of a resource beast. But we can look at it. So I've got the first layer done, as we can see here. My pals are out there somewhere mining. Oh, it's Soothsayer. You can see him remote mining from here. the wildlife sanctuary we were working on? Because you can usually see them from any height, so if I can get a good eye on the wildlife sanctuary, we might actually be able to actually see all the stuff we were just building. It should be more to, yeah, more to the west. So if I crest this ridge here, there's that lag spike again. Yeah, we are now playing Palworld at 3 frames per second.
That's the optimal way to play it.
Though it is actually improving. It's just like maybe loading in chunks in the distance or something like that. Or getting ready to crash. Oh, no, there's my speed improving. So yeah, it was just like loading chunks into the distance. I was facing a different direction. Oh yeah, so there's the wildlife sanctuary. You can kind of see the base I am building around it.
It's amazing.
And then, of course, the volcano wedding cake base. Painted all in white, capping off this giant volcano. Obviously, as I complete each level, I'm going to change it from stone to glass, because the entire idea is that you can look underneath your feet and see that madness.
It's a pretty sick spot for a base, though.
And then we're going to move over here to where my staircase is, so you can actually see what that level looks like, because that level needs a lot of flooring put in. But you can kind of imagine how crazy it'll look once this entire layer is placed in, turned to glass, and then turned white. Like over on this section. And then, of course, I'll just demonstrate it, just for people to understand just how bad the lag is on this. Someone's planning to raid my base. Of course they are. Actually, that wasn't too bad. And now you see the lag spike. It's a lot smoother off camera, which is why I do most of the work here on the cake base off camera. Or just streaming only to Discord. Now there should be my next set of stairs. Takes us down one more layer. You can again see all the work that's necessary to complete this layer of the cake base, while we get hit by another lag spike. Possibly a lethal lag spike. Possibly just a really bad lag spike. No, we're still moving. Just at like 3 frames per second. While the game loads new chunks, I guess. I mean, it has to load a lot of stuff. Loaded everything needed to load. I should probably just deconstruct the cooling unit. There's no one there to cool it. Eventually, the plan is once each level is completed and then turned to glass, I'm going to set up cooling towers set up with muffies to keep them cool with insomnia and all that fun stuff. And of course, here's the next layer down. And then we got the next layer down. And believe it or not, we can actually go one more layer down.
I think one of my favorite things is if you're doing like one of the like oil things or just any sort of enemy base, you can summon Panthalus, and no one sees it because you're the only one that they care about.
Yeah, I suppose, or especially the fact that while you can only have one at your base, you can have one at every base, and no one's reacted to the fact that I've got 15 of the legendary whale just circling my bases.
No, but it's the fact that I realized I haven't actually completed the one oil well thing near Faybreak Island, and I mean I'm a bit past it, but I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it now because I haven't done it. And I don't know, there's just something kind of funny about me being able to pull out Panthalus while standing on here, and no one will attack me until I step around the corner and they know it's me. Oh yeah, that's just like the kaiju god whale
Yes.
that hasn't been seen in like a millennia. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm sure that's fine. And of course, as I've shown off in other streams, you can technically walk on lava. It is a solid object. It's not a liquid. And while I cannot defeat the drones, I can actually survive standing in lava for a decent amount of time. Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Didn't even finish breaking my shield.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just trying to beat the attack helicopter because I realize I haven't actually done that yet. Like, I don't actually need the stuff from this place. I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it because how have I not done this yet?
I looked out so much on the attack helicopter because it dropped a schematic for the epic multi-guided missile launcher.
Yeah.
Which basically just a fire and forget weapon. That's what I was using on the drones. I would just fire missiles into the air and they target the drones and go after them. And of course the cake base also will be built up vertically. The idea with a cake base is inside of the cake base the floor is all glass. So like you look down into the lava, that's where all your lighting is coming from. At the very most bottom level will be like a spa. So like the lava's nipping at their toes and they're just chilling. Well, looks like we got an invasion of Pal, so let's summon the gang out.
Yeah.
Come on, Panthalus, just like hit it. It's at like 1 health. Wait, where'd the helicopter go? It's not dead, but I can't see it anywhere. Oh, there it is.
You know, I can't actually recall off the top of my head. Does Panthalus need a
There
bed?
we go. Yeah, I just needed the achievement for the helicopter.
This is another fun benefit of building a base like the cake base here. The raids will
I got a
always go
legendary flamethrower.
the raids will only go to your front door if you've got walls everywhere.
Yeah. I built my very first base in the game on like the back of a on like the side of a cliff just because I thought it was a cool looking spot, and it unintentionally has been a very helpful one because it meant like if there were raids, half of them would end up at the bottom of the cliff and just get stuck there.
Yeah, they are very considerate of the terrain, and unless they can fly, they're just going to go towards wherever your front door is. And if your front door is closed, they'll just stand there, which means that the raid will time out. And somehow, even though they never got into your base, you lost. I should just write up pan. There we go. Oh, all four of my Pantalises are running expeditions. So you only have one in your base, but apparently four of them can run expeditions.
That's pretty funny.
I think they're all running the same expedition too. Meanwhile, the pals in my base are just working. They're just ignoring the raid.
Yeah.
Like, I've only got 3 guys here, basically just enough to handle the infrastructure. Because this place gets raided weirdly a lot.
I think Panthalus is the pal that just feels the most legendary out of all of them.
He really does. Like, even Jet Dragoon doesn't feel all that legendary.
Yeah. Like, it's the only one that feels like properly. I guess it's just the fact that it's incorporated into the story. It's got, like, multiple cutscenes about it. It's absolutely colossal and has, like, a unique boss battle as opposed to the others who are just, like, your generic, like, roaming boss things.
It's also semi-transparent, which makes it feel ethereal.
Yeah. I'll be so real. I love Pokemon, but I think Panthalus is just better Kyogre, because I don't know, just something about it honestly makes it feel more like some legendary god than Kyogre ever did.
Yeah, Pocket Pair really got the idea of, oh, we need something that's legendary and represents like narrative significance. Yeah, make the giant ethereal whale and let it summon tidal waves.
Don't get me wrong, like, I still like Kyogre, but I don't know, just it doesn't hit the same as, like, Panthalus. Like, I mean, maybe it's because Kyogre never does any shit like Panthalus does in his game, so
Hell,
I can't remember Kyogre building, like, 100-foot tall waves.
Arceus doesn't even do anything in his games.
Yeah. Nope, that doesn't. I want that there. I want this here, and then I can sell those.
Just a wave of effects as this raid is evaporated by my army of pals.
Jesus Christ.
Now, yes, technically I'm cheating, or maybe not. It's debatable, because I'm using the Pal Army mod, which allows me to have 25 people in my party. You can have up to 100. But, like, technically speaking, the raid is attacking your base. Your base can have 25 people in it.
I think, honestly, you can probably get it to more, too.
I mean, I think the maximum base size is, it's what? Without mods, it's 1 per level. There's 35 levels, so 36 base pals?
Yep.
Something like that. I have set my game to cap out at 20, because any more and my computer would start struggling a bit.
I'm actually surprised that my computer can handle what I have been throwing at it, especially with the multi-section streams, because it's a desktop mini PC. It doesn't even have a dedicated graphics card.
Damn.
It's called a GMK Tech. I mean, it's got an AMD Ryzen 7 and a Radeon graphics card, but like It's one of it's the size of a sandwich. I mean, it's the size of a
Damage.
lunchbox. You know. Hold on. OBS. I can tilt the camera down. That is the entirety of the unit for folks on my stream. For a point of reference, this is my diabetes medicine. I could fit 4 of them on top of this thing. And that's a pretty standard, medicine bottle. It is not a very big computer.
Small.
That is resolved for that thing. That is my server style computer. The OS died, but I moved all the hard drives out. Eventually, I will get a new version of Windows installed on that thing. Or I will just take this thing, and it's got something called Oculink, which allows you to attach a dock for an external GPU. So I can just upgrade the GPU. It's like 99 bucks for the dock, and then of course retail price for whatever GPU you're buying. So like, I'm doing all of this. I'm streaming to Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Discord simultaneously while base building with a bunch of mods.
Yeah, I think mine would have a heart attack.
While also web streaming my face to my webcam, while also having external hard drives hooked up through USB-C. It's a great little device. I paid like 500.
Yeah, mine's definitely gonna have a heart attack trying that.
I paid like 500 bucks on Amazon a couple of years ago. Like, it's been surprising how well it works. And like, I haven't unlocked its full potential. Anyway, up to this guy. So that's what the cake base looks like from the top. I will build up vertically to make a wedding cake, which will then top with a statue. I'll plan to put rings of like torches around the edge for like candles. So yes, giant wedding cake. But that is not the only cake. So you see, since the wedding cake base takes so much time to build, I have decided to explore other cakes. And so we have, well, this one's just kind of at the edge of 2 volcanoes. It's like in a perfect spot where the size of my base, which is like 94 meters, can cover 2 volcanoes, allowing me to build 2 cakes for the price of 1. But then I've got this one where I actually have started building up cake base number 2. I got the floor fully done. You can kind of see the full infrastructure here. Hasn't been painted or anything, but I'm trying to decide what to do with this cake base. What's its theme? Because obviously the other one is a giant wedding cake. What should I do with this cake base? Should I make, a donut cake, or maybe like a chocolate cake? What type of cake?
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake filled with nothing but Sekhmet.
Mm-hmm.
I could do a cheesecake. Do like an orange color. Do some layers so you could see. Definitely could do a cheesecake. Could do a molten. I could do a molten cake. I could do a cheese bomb. I could do a chocolate bomb cake. Just leave a wedge cut out where you can see the volcanic core. And like, I've just been having a lot of fun putting like bases down here in this region, because like having a base over a pit of lava is just too cool. So I've just been finding various locations where I can throw down a cake, or I can throw down a PAL box, and then just try and build a base on it. Like this spot right here would be an epic spot for a base. Because you've already got a center piece that's already circle shaped. Now inside of a baseline of lava. That is a doom castle, if ever I've heard of one. Where you just set down like right in the ring. You set up your base and they have to cross the lava to get to you. And then let's see. I am too far from my base that I cannot. Whoa. Nope. Game. There we go. Get back over to the Cape base so I can fast travel. I did set down like a inventory box here, yes, because they are clearly mining in this area. And of course I gave them all the infrastructure they could want. They've got the ancient, so like I'm running them at normal work. I probably could work them at a higher work point because they've got all the infrastructure to make them happy. The various generators, the ancient medical center. Ancient beds and all that fun stuff. What have you guys been storing in here? What have you been collecting? Eggs and basic rocks and sulfur. I shouldn't be surprised, honestly. I have got 460 Mammoras meat thanks to expeditions.
Oh damn.
And 185 Enther deer venison.
My goodness.
And more flour, mushroom, onions, eggs, and milk than I know what to do with. To the point where I can make 164 mushroom quiches.
Then you should make 164 mushroom quiches.
I'm trying to see which one works better for like their sanity and whatnot. The seafood pasta, when eaten, it nullifies damage from explosions for a certain period of time. Okay, well that probably is the best for the mushroom quiches because it's
Ooh,
harder for
inoculum Ignis.
it reduces like sanity degradation. So yeah, go make yourselves 164 mushroom quiches. So I've got a mod installed that also basically distributes all the food in their food boxes to all the other locations. So if I make food in one location, it feeds all of my bases. Because when you're building bases like this, you need massive infrastructure back end. Because there would no way I'd be able to manage all these things individually. It would be such a trial. I want to go and say, let's build the advanced hot springs. Because you guys should be able to get the best stuff you can get. Ooh, you mother... I just got back from one raid, and the son of a bish is doing another raid. Well, fine. You want to do another raid? Well, my lightsaber isn't orange for no reason.
Oh my god, he's a Sith.
Herd of extremely ferocious wild pals. Sure. Summon out a Geodron. Just where the heck are they going to come from? I think my drones might be able to take care of them. Just one pet, my drones, and my lightsaber. And there's a meteorite falling. Well, you're set to aggressive. Good.
Room best. I love Shroomer. He's my favorite pal. He's so silly.
He is. I've actually got a base set. I've got a base set up in the Japanese region, just so that they're constantly mining for mushrooms.
I'll be so real. I have had no ideas what I need for my last base, so I was probably gonna make it just like a nature reserve for Shroomers. Like Jurassic Park, but everything's a Shroomer.
That's a lot of poop.
Welcome to Shroomer Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Shroomer.
Bam, 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 bam.
Oh, finally the raid has showed up. I mean, if you guys are going to attack me and disrupt my tour of my estate, you could have at least show up on time.
Oh, I need cloth.
Something wrong with the drones? Do they need like ammo or something? They're floating around me, but they don't seem to be doing anything. Maybe they prefer range, in which case... There, Geodron, can you just do something instead of just standing up there and not doing anything? There, thank you, that's much more useful.
Yeah, but it's also a lot more work.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go for the least work. The beam launcher, just fire randomly in their direction. The explosive radius should be enough to take care of them. There. Much easier. Just randomly firing. Oh, there's a bunch of you guys coming this way. Well, as long as I'm in over here. Don't tell me a Dumond is trying to attack me. That seemed like a terrible idea, Dumond. I mean, I know you don't
The
have the
scariest pal.
I know you don't have the greatest intelligence, Dumond, but I am level 80.
No, it's the strongest being. You can't challenge him like that.
I have 4 of the god whale in my inventory. I have got 4 copies of Zoe in my inventory.
Yeah, when I remember when they first added the Zoe questline thing, I'm like, there's no way you can catch her, right? Like, you can catch people, but like, there's no way you can catch her because she's got a quest, right? And then I did it, and then she respawned almost immediately. It was like really freaky.
That was what I found was hilarious. Is like I threw a ball at her, captured her, she respawned immediately.
Yeah, I then had her fight herself to the death. I brought the Zoe I had caught previously, and I brought it to fight the other one to see who would come out on top. Mine won.
See, what you should have done is completed her quest line, since it actually is a reoccurring quest line. It's a repeating quest line. So you can get Zoe with Grisbolt, and then go back to Zoe and have Zoe with Grisbolt fight Zoe.
Ooh, I should have done that.
You can still do it.
I could. That would just be. I'll do it eventually.
What I should do is like build up my Zoe with Grisbolt, take her to take on the other raid towers.
Do you think they added that because there was a glitch that allowed you to catch the tower bosses when the game first dropped, so you could get a Zoe Grisbolt then? Do you think they just made that for the sole purpose of like referencing that bug to put it back in the game?
From my understanding, that they plan to add quests so you can recruit all of the tower bosses. It's just Zoe was the first one they did, probably because she's like the first one you fight. And
well, yeah, yeah, you could catch all the tower bosses technically when the game first dropped. There was a bug, but it was just most common with Zoe because she's the first one, so it was like the easiest to do.
And then they all gave them like a capture rate of 0. And Palworld has crashed. You know what, folks? I think that is a perfectly good point to end things, as we have been streaming for 2.5 hours. I will continue I'll continue to fuddle around in Discord, but in terms of my official live stream on the 3 platforms, I think that is a fair stream. I think 2.5 hours for you guys is probably fine. All right, folks. Have a good night.